everyone, I'm your sunroom host, Yesril Zimone, and today we are on location at the Aiken County Library, located right here in Aiken, South Carolina. Joining us today is the Aiken Youth Services Librarian, Marie Davidson. Thank you for joining us on the sunroom.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am the Youth Services Librarian. I have been in this position for, I want to say 5 years.
Oh, wow.
I started off when I moved here, it was like 2014. I applied here to be a circulation clerk, and then the not youth services, the reference position opened up for a reference librarian, and I had just finished my master's at that point, so I took that, but then the kids position opened up, and it all worked itself out beautifully because I've always wanted to work with children, so I took that position.
So how many libraries are located in Aiken?
So in Aiken County, including the outreach van, there are 7 libraries, but we are part of the ABBE Regional Library System. It consists of Aiken, Barnwell, Bamberg, and Edgefield counties, and altogether it is 13 libraries that it's our service area and our patrons have access to.
Okay. Have you worked in any of the other libraries or just this one?
Just this one.
Okay. And for this library, can you give us a brief history, like who founded it?
Yes.
When?
So, the Aiken Academy was established in a 1-story frame house at this site. So this was originally a school building, and then about 1990 is when we came over into this building. We had previously been over at the Aiken Historical Museum, Banksia.
Yeah.
That was the library previous to this building.
Okay.
But this building itself is old, it's historical. It was built in the late 1800s. And it was a high school and an elementary school at one point.
Okay. So what made you want to enter into this career? Was it something you were just, kind of looking for a job, or was it like something that you wanted to do?
So my very first job was as a library page, and I'm from New York, so that's where my first job was. I was always held down like 3 jobs, but that was always my main consistent one. I loved being in a library.
Yeah.
I originally was going to school to become a teacher, but I did not enjoy that. I worked as a preschool teacher for about 3 years, and then my stepdad was, "Oh, you should become a librarian," and stubborn.
Yeah.
Mid-20s, and like, "No, you don't tell me what to do." Turns out he was right. Here we are. So I just, when my now husband said he was moving to South Carolina, at that point I'm like, well, I've been in school forever. I don't think I'm going to be a teacher.
Right.
I think at this point I'll just apply to graduate school, become a librarian, and that's what happened.
Okay. It's actually a wonderful story. So, again, it seems like a lot of things are just putting themselves in place and working out in your favor regarding this job.
I've been very fortunate, yes.
Yes, good. But does this library offer any specific community-based programs for adults, children?
So we actually partner with Aiken Learn Foundation. They're a nonprofit organization that combine, it's a local teacher who combines her love of horses and her love of literacy.
Oh, wow.
So she brings, she and her husband run the nonprofit. They bring mini horses to the library, and we do early literacy activities, and every kid walks away with a free book. We've been doing that every summer and every fall break, but we're going to start doing it every fall break. We also have Poets Mike Night. One of our staff members started that, and it's been a tremendous success. I really love that one because it brings, I've seen an intergenerational public come into that. Like, so many people of different ages, different backgrounds come in, and to me that's very rare to see that. And it's just a beautiful, welcoming space, and she's had great success with it. We also do Let's Talk About It. It's our adult book club in which patrons check out or have access to specific books, and then they can watch the movie as well, and then we usually bring in a scholar to talk about the book. And I have started a kids book club as well, because we had a lot of, hey, can you run a kids book club?
Yeah. And
that one's been pretty successful. The kids can pick pretty much whatever book they want. I just choose the theme, or even the kids choose the theme.
Right.
And then we do a little mini book report. They will tell us about their book, what they didn't like about it. And we created a kids advisory binder made for kids by kids. It's very precious. And then we put out snacks and an activity to go along with that too.
Okay, and so how long have these programs been running?
So the mini horse one has been about 2 years now. The kids book club, probably about a year. Same thing with the Poets Mike Night. And then the Let's Talk About It. That one's been, I don't even know, I want to say 4 or 5 years.
Oh, wow.
It's been here for a very long time. And every year patrons are like, are you doing it again? Please bring it back. That's like hugely popular.
So it's well received.
Yes.
Okay. So this question's a really interesting question. I think a lot of people can agree, but with book banning and censorship steadily on the rise, do you think it's going to affect this library specifically, or any library just in general? Do you think that's going to have a huge effect on what's happening here?
I don't think it will. We have a library board approved policy in place, so we do recognize that there will be a difference of opinions when it comes to the suitability of library materials. If a patron wants an item withdrawn or moved within the collection, then they have to they can fill out a form for a request for reconsideration form, and we'll review the item.
Okay.
Yep.
And has that happened yet at all, or?
Yes, we have had that happen before, and we have, and that's been going on even before all of this newer book banning. In the years past too, we've had that happen, and we've just given them form, fill it out, and we review it and do as we see fit.
Digital books, and people can kind of just go online and pay on Amazon or Kindle or something, and kind of just read the books through, their devices. Do you think that's going to affect people actually coming into the library and picking up like a hard copy book? Or
I do not think it will. We have actually, since last summer, we've seen a 25% increase in young children and families walking through our door, which has been really great to see. And studies have shown that people learn best reading not in front of a device. They need an actual print book put in front of them.
Yeah.
Especially with our kids, we need to keep that. The foundation of our library has always been literacy and books, and that's not going anywhere. We have a lot more to offer nowadays, and we're taking in that technology that's coming about now, but books will always be at the core of what we do.
And it's convenient being able to pick up a device and pay and read right then and there.
Yes.
But that's not the human experience.
Yes.
Because with books, somebody, created that with their hands, or
Yes.
even if they operated a machine or something, someone put time and effort into
Yes.
doing that.
And look at picture books and graphic novels and manga. You're not going to get that same experience because those illustrations are so core to that story.
Exactly.
Plus, nothing beats that smell.
Nothing beats the book smell. Yeah.
So keep in mind that with October, we did have the hurricane. So we were closed for a week, just over a week, and our internet went down, which did greatly affect our services. We also did have to cancel, unfortunately, some programs because there's a hurricane.
Right.
And we couldn't operate, but we did have 8,164 people walk in the door.
Wow.
And you can imagine how, I alone had to cancel horse-powered reading, a kids book club. So that's 2 programs right there, horse-powered alone would have brought 50 people in the door.
Goodness gracious.
So,
but even
over
with those
50.
cancellations, a
Yeah.
lot of people still came in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then for our ebooks checkouts, we had 1,100, for the month of October, we had 1,453 ebooks checkout.
Where I'm from, it's a small town. I would go to, it's called Alamogordo, it's in New Mexico.
Okay.
And I would go into that library and nobody would be in there. I would see maybe 3 kids, little kids, parents trying to keep up the tradition of children, getting into books and stuff, but I wouldn't see anyone in there. So to hear these numbers that they're so high and that so many people like to read, it's like, wow.
I do think we've had a baby boom in Aiken because our baby story time seems to have filled up a lot more too. We're seeing a lot more babies come through the door too. And we also do play and learn with them. It's a great way for caregivers to meet and talk about what's going on in the area and make friends. And ages 0 to 5, drop in and stay as long as you want, play with some toys that are geared toward early literacy and learning, and you can leave when the child is done. I've had enough for today.
So, I mean, that's good that people are starting their
Yes.
children off young. I remember that's how I got started. That's how I got into writing and books and everything. Reading is, my mother would sit me down. I think my earliest memory of that was when I was 3.
Oh, wow.
So, I think that's important to start, kids off young.
Yes.
Because you can learn a lot just by sitting down and reading a book.
Yes. And studies have shown that if you introduce a child early to reading and they develop that love of reading, they will have a better life and they'll be a more functioning adult.
So what does the Aiken County Library do to increase readership?
Yes. So we love outreach events. That's when we get out there in the community. The youth services assistant and I actually just got back. We went to the Fall Fission Fest that the Savannah River Museum put on. Okay. That was a really fun event. We gave out candy and some like little shakers for babies because we can't forget our babies. Turns out adults like shakers too. It's very interesting. They are very fun. And then we promoted our ACON event too. We go to different schools and do literacy nights with them.
Okay.
We usually do one at Kennedy. That one is a middle school. A bunch of the middle schools get together and put on one big one. That was always a good time. We encourage our teachers to give us a call, and we will do field trips in the library. We take a tour. We go over how to treat library material. When you come into the library, what's library etiquette. As well as we'll do either, depending on what the teacher prefers, either a story time or a scavenger hunt. And I'm more than happy to go out to schools. I love going out to schools and visiting.
Okay. What parting words would you like to say to those in your community to visit the Aiken County Library?
While books remain at our core, we have a lot of other stuff. We have computers. We have Ancestry.com now, so you can come on in. And if you are looking for some of your ancestors, you want to know more about your family history, come on in because we have access to that. We have the Aiken Standard Archive. We have, sorry, lost my train of thought. Painting. There's a painting club that meets here every week. Something for everybody. You don't just have to be a reader to come visit the library.
Right. And you guys had the ACON 2024,
yes.
Where local authors could come in and show off their works. And I did not know that there was going to be a cosplay contest. I didn't realize that there was going to be an author/artist meet and greet per se, and there's a few other things happening around the libraries. Can you kind of get into those?
Yes, so we had button making. The South Carolina State Library offers different kits that we can borrow. We borrowed their button making kit. We also have one here. We borrowed some of their board games, and we borrowed a VR set from them. Okay. And we just got a wonderful donation to purchase one of our own VRs.
Oh, nice. Exciting. That is exciting.
Yes. We do have Switches available here at the library, so we have those out. We also partnered with the Ghostbusters. I forgot what they actually call themselves, but there's some local groups. Ghostbusters, the 501st Legion, they dress up as Star Wars. Star Trek was here too.
Very exciting. Did see them, yeah.
Yes. We also had 2 food trucks come out, and we had a face painter, and then one of our local hospices found out about the event a week ago and actually emailed me and said, hey, I just saw this, can I come? I'll bring super masks for the kids to decorate.
Okay.
And picture frames, which was fitting because we had a photo booth area so they could go and take photos. So that's perfect. And then we had invited local authors to come in. We also had author India Hill Brown do a presentation, Marvel artist Jerry DeCare. We did an all ages cosplay contest and a local author panel, and it was beautiful.
Would you say that it was a success?
I think it was. We have been asked to do this again every year.
Okay.
I don't know if we can do it every year because we do have to do inventory and other big projects too.
Right.
But at least every 2 years we're going to aim for.
Okay, so the next one will be in 2026?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay.
Yes. It took over a year to plan this
Right.
with a committee of 5 people.
Okay, wow.
Yes, we
Five
met-
people made it happen.
We met every month, yes,
Goodness
for over a
gracious.
year, yes. And we did get a grant from the South Carolina Humanities, and the Friends of the Aiken County Library also helped to fund this.
Okay. Well, I was here to experience it. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I was kind of surprised at the amount of people that showed up.
Yes.
Like, there was a lot of people, came in with a lot of interesting costumes. I saw a lot of young authors here too, which I was surprised about. I think one of the authors was 14 years old
Yes.
and already published a book. So that's a lot of progress.
Aiken County is more than just horses and golf.
Yeah.
We are an artist community, and I'm seeing that more and more every day. I personally did not realize that some of the local graphic novel artists we had, how big name they are.
Should our viewers like to follow up with you? How can they contact you?
You can come visit me at the library. This is pretty much my second home. You can also check out our website at www.abbe-lib.org. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and we are working on a TikTok page. It's a little bit outdated,
Okay.
but there are some fun videos on there.
So you guys heard it from her. You guys know how to reach out to her. You guys know where the Aiken County Library is located, and hopefully we get to see some of you guys, and hopefully some of you guys get to see her and me in 2026. Hopefully by that time I'll have some stuff out so I can come
Yes.
show off some of my books as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the Sunroom, and we hope to see you soon.